Well, hey everybody, Mr. Mack here. Welcome back for another installment of Restart, Chapter 3. Now, before we get started, I want to bring up a phrase that was used in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 was Shoshana and her brother Joel, and we know what happened there. Evidently, Joel was kind of pushed out of his town. He was bullied to the brink of, well, he was pushed out of town. He's now going to a boarding school, private school, out of town, and evidently Chase, our main character, is the leading cause of that. And we know Chase, of course, has amnesia. He doesn't know anything. And the episode at the ice cream place, at the yogurt place, sorry, where he smiled at her. She stormed over and really let him have it. You have a lot of nerve smiling at me after what you've done and this, that, and the other, and then just dumped her yogurt all over his head. And poor Chase doesn't know squat. But Joel and Shoshana referred to Chase as the alpha rat. And Aaron and Bear, his friends, as the beta and the gamma. But, you know, that back and forth from the name Chase to alpha rat. An alpha is, in the wild, in nature, an alpha is the leader of the pack, you know, the big cheese, the head honcho. And unfortunately, it can be used in a negative way too. You call somebody an alpha male, usually that's somebody who's big, their bravado is large, they try to be larger than life, they try to be overly tough, they push, they shove. They want to be the leader of the pack, and they will fight anyone who challenges that. So they refer, when I say they, Joel and Shoshana, refer to him as the alpha rat. And beta would be the second in command, gamma would be the third in command. So, so I just wanted to clear that up. In case it comes up again, it probably will. But so we're going to get right into Chapter 3. Again, I do have a great ache in my heart for Chase, but at the same time, I've also known in my life and as a teacher, bullies, people who can make the life of others just a living, terror-filled time. I mean, it's just, bullies can just ruin everything for someone. Their day, their moment, their just everything. And but at the same time, Chase is all of that's been wiped away. So Chapter 3, and we're back to Chase. I was hoping, I like this. The book is kind of set up like Wonder. Most of you probably have read the book Wonder, if not in school yourself, where each chapter is from the perspective of a character in the book. In this case, it seems to be set up the same way. Chase and then Shoshana. Now we're back to Chase. All right, Chapter 3, Chase Ambrose. I recognize the school, not because I remember it. It's just that Mom drove me by here a few times over the last couple of weeks to make sure I'd be sort of familiar with the place. It's called Hiawassee Middle School, and it turns out that I'm the star of just about every team they have, or X-star. Until further notice, I'm on the disabled list. Remember, the doctor said no concussion, no sports, period. I get this information from my mother on the drive to my first day of 8th grade. So we know he's 8th grade, about 13, between 13 and 14, 12, 13. It's just the two of us now since Johnny's back at college. Mom's trying to fill me in on my former life so I won't be caught by surprise like when that psycho girl dumped frozen yogurt on my head. Funny, she was sympathetic when I told her about it, but she didn't seem very surprised, like we live in a town where people attack each other with desserts all the time. Oh, she replied airily. Oh, young girls can be oversensitive, especially with a popular athlete. She smiles at you, you don't smile back. She takes it personally. Mom was trying to explain. But I did smile, Mom. She's the one who didn't. She went right for the yogurt. Mom rolled her eyes. What do you want me to say, honey? I don't even know who this mystery yogurt bomber was. But here's the thing. I think she did know. Chase is talking. I think she did know. Or at least she could make a pretty good guess. Why would she hold that back, I wonder? It wasn't like those first days out of the hospital when she was a stranger to me. And I must have seemed pretty unfamiliar to her. She can tell me these things. Why is she holding back? Now, as we pull to the curb in front of the school, she's pumping me up with details like names of friends and teachers I get along with. Yet I still can't shake the impression that there's something being left unsaid. But, I prompt, and she reddens. Honey, but what? And I put it to her. Tell me the part that you're leaving out. Chase, 13 years is a long time. There's no way I can fill all that empty space for you while we're parked here at the side of the road on the first day of school. You're going to hear things about yourself, good and bad, that might surprise you. Just keep your cool today. Now, what's that supposed to mean? I asked, and she answered. Now I know even less than before. Her face is the color of an overripe tomato, so I don't push it. I'll find out soon enough. There are hundreds of kids pouring into the front entrance. Everybody seems to know everybody else. There's backslaps and high fives fly everywhere. Several of them fly into my direction, and I smack hands and I bump fists, and I try to look like I belong, which I definitely don't. I also get some strange looks, and a few kids meet my eyes and then furtively look away. And I'm guessing this has something to do with the scrape on my face, maybe, and my arm in a sling. Mom warned me that a lot of people probably heard about my accident, but nobody really knows the amnesia part. I have to get ready to explain that to a lot of friends who can't figure out why I don't recognize them. The teachers and officials and all the office staff had to be told, of course. It's our boy! A single bellow rises from the general chatter as soon as I enter the building. I don't know the kid, but I'm willing to bet he's one of my football buddies, judging from the size of him. From out of the hubbub of the foyer, guys who are almost as big are converging on me, slapping at me and calling me their boy. My boy, yo, my boy. Guys, not my shoulder. My mind is reeling. How am I going to explain to these guys, to this welcoming crowd, that I haven't got the faintest idea who any of them are? I start to feel a little bit dizzy. Chase! Two more football players elbow their way into the side, and to my surprise, I actually recognize this pair. They're the guys from the pumpkin smashing picture on my phone. Mom pointed them out in my lacrosse team photo as Aaron and Bear, and apparently they're my best friends. Dude, good to have you back, barks Aaron, the taller of the two. In person, he has the coolest thing, or the closest thing, to a full beard I've ever seen on a middle school kid. Oh, we tried to come by, but your mom said you were on bed rest. Yeah, I can't believe you're here, chimes in the other guy. Didn't you, jump off the clock tower of the village square or something? Bear whips him across the face. Psst! He jumped off his roof, moron. And if he jumped off the clock tower, he'd be dead, duh. And he didn't jump. He fell. Who'd be stupid enough to jump off a roof? Aaron adds. This was pretty stupid, too, I admit, a little taken aback by that full-face smash and the fact that this kid on the receiving end didn't seem to mind it. You know, the kid that Bear smacked, he didn't care. I can't remember what I was thinking. And in fact, you guys, to be honest, the slappee cuts him off. But you're going to be healed up for football season, right? You'll be ready for our first game, right? The doctor says no. My shoulder, but mostly it's my concussion. I can't risk taking a headshot soon after the accident. A howl of protest greets this announcement. Oh, no. But we need you. You're our leading scorer, the best player, our captain. Cut it out, you guys, Aaron orders. Injuries are a part of the game. We all know that. And to me, he adds, listen, man, we have to talk to you. He heads out of the foyer to an inner atrium with hallways leading off. We have no problem navigating the dense crowd. My two best friends just start pushing people out of the way. Most kids see the three of us heading their way and they move on their own. They lead me to a bench along a wall. Are these seats taken? I ask a youngish boy, maybe sixth grader. Before he can answer, Bear rumbles, oh, they are now, get out! The kid scrambles down the hall, propelled by a hefty shove. I sit down with my fellow pumpkin smashers. Before they can say anything, I burst out with, Aaron, Bear. Aaron, Bear. The names are unfamiliar on my tongue, like I've never spoken them before. Aaron, Bear, I have something that I have to tell you. When I fell off the roof, I got more than a concussion and a sprained shoulder. I got amnesia, too. Bear frowns. Amnesia? You mean you forget stuff? And I shake my head sadly. It's worse than that. I forgot everything. Like my whole life before I fell, I forgot everything. And I motion around us. The school, these people, they're all new to me. I wouldn't even know you guys except your pictures are on my phone. As it is, I don't remember anything about us. I know we're friends because my mother said so. But everything we did together, it's gone. I catch them eyeing each other like they don't believe me. And it makes me mad until I consider how I'd react if a longtime friend of mine told me the same thing. Here I am, the kid they've known all their lives. I look the same. I talk the same. And I'm telling them that all of our history is completely wiped out. I don't blame them for thinking I'm joking. And I guess it is a joke. It's just not a funny one. I speak again. It's not just you guys. Think how it feels to see random strangers instead of your own mother, your brother, your dad. And trust me, I'm not loving the thought of dealing with 800 kids in this school who think I'm dissing them because I can't remember who they are. Bear stares at me hard. Wait. You're not kidding, are you? I wish I was, I said fervently. He's stunned. Wow. Aaron leads forward practically into my face. Yeah, but your memory's going to come back, right? Right? And there's an urgency in his voice. He must really hate it that I'm missing out on all the old good days. Well, some of it, maybe, I reply, but also, maybe not. The doctor says it's impossible to know. We've got to take it a day at a time. We've got to see. They look at each other again, and there's no mistaking how freaked out they are. I feel a surge of warmth toward these two, my best friends. I have a giddy vision of my phone screen, the three of us brandishing the baseball bat with the ruined jack-o'-lantern. The good times. Guys, I try to reason with them. I'm still me, even if I don't remember the stuff we did together. We'll do new stuff, right? Better stuff. Oh, yeah, sure. Totally, Bear says. And if you can't play football, you'll be good for lacrosse in the spring, right? Right? The doctor said I should be okay by then, although we'll just have to see. There you go. And he sounds upbeat, although I'm pretty sure he's faking it. This can't be an easy thing to process. If I wasn't the one with amnesia, I don't know if I could accept it myself. Well, we're here for you, man, Aaron adds, slapping my back and sending a jolt of fire through my separated shoulder. I swallow an angry warning, one step at a time. Welcome back, boys, a deep voice intones. A tall man in a charcoal gray suit approaches our bench. Chase, I'm Dr. Fitzwallace, your principal. I thought I'd reintroduce myself under the circumstances. We've met before, of course. A strangled, "You can say that again," comes from Bear. The principal silences him with a single look through his steel-rimmed glasses. Chase, come with me. Let's have a little chat. My friends are already slouching off down the hall, so I follow the principal into his office. On the wall are two gigantically framed photographs, and I'm surprised when I identify one of them. It's on my wall, too. Part of a newspaper clipping about our football championship last year, and it's me, helmet pushed back on my head, hoisting up the trophy. The other is similar, although you can't tell it's a lot older. The pose is almost identical, and the young player raising the same trophy. I can't explain it, but the kid in that picture looks familiar to me. But that's crazy. How can I recognize him? I don't recognize anybody. Can you figure out who this person can you figure it out? Dr. Fitzwallace is watching me. That's your father. Our only other win at state, back when he was your age. Wow, no wonder Dad calls me champ. I should call him champ too. I tell the principal, I didn't know he won at state. I'm sure I knew at some point. That's exactly what I want to talk with you about, Chase. Please, have a seat. Dr. Fitzwallace waves me to a chair. I have to confess this is a first for me. I've never had a student suffer amnesia before. Must be very upsetting for you, even a little frightening. It's pretty weird, I admit. Not remembering anybody, it's like I'm surrounded by all these people, but I'm all alone. The principal sits down behind his desk. Well, I hope we can make this situation a little easier for you. I hope you will allow us all to help you. I've alerted all the teachers and support staff, so we're ready for you. If you have any issues, just have whoever's involved get in touch with me. I thank him because that's what he seems to expect me to do. Oh, and one more thing. And he leans back in his chair. And when he speaks again, it's slowly and carefully, as if he's trying to get his words exactly right. This was an awful thing that happened to you, Chase. But it's also presenting you with a rare opportunity. You have the chance to rebuild yourself from the ground up to make a completely fresh start. Don't squander it. I'm sure you're not feeling very lucky, but there are millions of people out there who'd give anything to stand where you are right now, in front of a completely blank canvas. I stare back at my principal. What is he talking about, I think? I'm struggling to discover the person I was, and he wants me to change? What was so wrong about the old me that I now have to be somebody else? That's the end of chapter 3. Well, this just keeps getting better and better. So we kind of knew who Aaron and Bear were. We kind of figured that out. That's something we could have inferred from the story when they came to him. I'm really, really, really feeling bad for Chase. Just to be in a position like that, I can't imagine. I don't think, unless you've been through it, I don't know that anyone can imagine how that feels. I remember in high school, we were at gym, and I think I was a freshman, and we were playing softball, and I wasn't paying attention. I'm out in the field, and I suddenly heard somebody yell my name, Jim! Well, just as I looked around at the same time, the softball was coming down, and like I said, I wasn't paying attention. The softball hit me right in the side of the head, and it knocked me out. I was out for just a few seconds, and I remember distinctly waking up and not knowing where I was or who I was. I had a concussion. Concussion, that's usually one of the symptoms, your memory loss. But to this day, I remember being in this shell and looking through my eyes and not knowing anyone or anything, where to go. I didn't know who I was, and I remember asking, what happened? Where am I? What? And I remember being taken back into the gym, into the locker room, and then I was going to be taken by a student to the nurse, and I ended up wandering away and going to a teacher's room, and he was then able to, of course, get me the help I needed, and got home, got to the hospital. But that didn't last. I mean, after an hour or so, I was back to being me. So, Chase, it's completely wiped away, absolutely. So, whatever's going to happen, his principal is there for him. And it seems to me he and the staff were ready for Chase to come back. But his principal gave him, it almost sounded like a warning, but it wasn't. He gave Chase some words of wisdom, things to think about. Seize this opportunity. You've been given this opportunity to make a fresh start. So we'll find out exactly what that means, but it sounds to me like the principal was really reaching out and hoping amongst hope that this will work out for Chase. So I'm intrigued. I use that word a lot with this book. It's a fascinating, wonderful book. I love these characters. They're very rich characters. Come back for Chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed Chapter 3. Take good care. Stay healthy. Keep your hands away from your eyes, nose, and mouth. And I'll see you again. Bye-bye.